realized that health is just, it's essential. It's the foundation of everything we do.
If your health is not good, your world is not good.
What's the difference between the African American body type and blood level and how sugar or salt may affect us?
So we say health is here and housing is here and education is here.
Right.
And then we wonder why we can't sort of get a system to work for everyone.
How do you change the system such that the next generation has such a better health outcome and really sees health justice, right?
How do you leverage education? How do you leverage urban planning? How do you leverage housing, the faith community?
I think it's very critical that we help to meet the needs of our communities everywhere.
When I think about health, I think it's kind of twofold. One, it's really personal. I had an experience when my body wouldn't respond the way I needed it to because I had thyroid cancer. And that was a terrible time for me because it was a time when I felt out of control. And I realized how dependent my family was on me to be healthy. And it was I felt kind of like my body betrayed me because I couldn't do the things that I am used to doing. So for me, I'm passionate about health because I realize how important it is for us to be able to live a full life. And when your body can't respond or doesn't respond, or even by the choices that we make about how we feed our bodies and exercise our bodies, I realize that health is just, it's essential. It's the foundation of everything we do. But the other thing about health why I have such a passion about making sure that people have access to healthy food and being able to learn to cook and share family experiences is because I'm basically a country girl. I come from Virginia, and I come from a long line of country folks. And so we had so many great experiences around in the kitchen and in the garden and sharing food and sharing stories and sharing time together around what I consider to be the building blocks of life, which are foods, which is fellowship, which is love, and it all is a part of why I'm so passionate about helping other people to be aware, educated, and empowered to live these healthy lives.
But one thing about that is that idea of food, family, and fellowship. I'm a Southern girl too, from Louisiana, and one of the things I noticed growing up is, you had that great food and fellowship, but oftentimes the food was not always prepared. It was great out the garden, but it was not always prepared in the healthiest way. And so I grew up in a family, there was a lot of diabetes, there was a lot of, heart disease. And so now it's really about how do you still have that experience of good Southern food and family and the fellowship around the food, but have it be a healthy experience. Because it was really unnerving. It was just thought that people were, that's just what happened, so-and-so, diabetes runs in the family and such runs in the family, and you can stop it. You don't have to just accept that something runs in the family. And how do you stop it? And it's that having those conversations about how do you live healthier? How do you eat healthier? I know I struggle with my weight all the time. And even though I struggle with my weight, I still eat basically very healthy, except for that chocolate, a lot more than it should be, and exercise, but make that a part because I know my family history. I don't want that history to continue. So it's that idea of let's have this and still enjoy, the gumbo and the jambalaya,
That's good stuff,
and everything, but be healthy about it. And is it portions? Is it leaving different things out, or is it making sure you're exercising, not putting so much salt in everything, but to be able to have that and still be healthy, enjoy it, and change the narrative around the family. That's why I'm so passionate about it, because I want that family narrative to change and not just be that's just who we are as a family. We have diabetes and
and accept it,
Yes, and yay, family reunion.
My passion comes from what I experienced too as a kid. I am also a Southerner, and deep South, and it was, my first impact was that people that I loved a lot died because of poor health, not because of old age. And I don't really know that I know what old age means and why that means that you die. I'm not a doctor, but I do know that they died young. They died young for their age, and then I found out it was something to do with how they lived. I didn't find this out until later in life, but then it just started to anger me, to be quite honest. It really made me upset. And then I had several health scares of my own. And in what was supposed to be a routine fibroid removal, I almost died. And who hears about that? You didn't even know to be scared. Like, I hadn't even taken that much time off work, and then I'm almost gone. And so that started to make me try to connect what's going on in my family, in my lineage, and then what's going on in the medical community, and how can I be more informed. And it is awful when you feel bad. Like, I don't like feeling poorly. I don't like stuff hurting.
Yes.
I don't like not being able to walk down the block without feeling like I need to sit down. So, and I've had points where something wasn't working right in my body, and, I couldn't leave the house. And I didn't enjoy it. And you're talking about diabetes and stuff like that. I can remember my granddaddy just saying, he got the sugar.
Yeah.
He got the sugar.
She got the sugar, that's it.
But then I had Captain Crunch, so that didn't really work out. So the passion started from losing people that I loved a lot for choices that could have been eradicated. So I'm hoping that for my nieces and nephews and people coming behind me in the family, we can say, we can have apple pie, but you don't have to put 5-pound bag of sugar in the pie.